So in this video, I want to demonstrate yet another vulnerability that we can find just by reading the source code. Honestly, reading the source code is going to, for one, reveal to you a ton of information about the application itself, and for two, probably find you some low-hanging fruit vulnerabilities that the developers have accidentally left in or didn't realize that they left in. So this is really one of the best ways that we can find vulnerabilities, and we're going to leverage it as much as possible. So let's take a look at the do login section, which does the actual login logic for our application. Specifically, I'm looking at post data because this is where we send data to the HTTP server and then it sends back a response to us. I want to get a better understanding of what happens when we send the data, what happens when the data comes back. So that's something that we really want to understand what's going on with. So really, we can just read through this code and see what happens, right? We create a response. That response is going to be, what gets sent back from the server. And then we have a client, which is responsible for sending the data to the server. The interesting piece here is that we create two post requests. One of them is login, as you can see here by the end path here. And one of them is dev login. Now, already, I would say that this is an information disclosure. I probably shouldn't know where the dev login or admin login is located. So this is already potentially problematic, but it looks like they've even left in the ability to access this dev login potentially. So maybe I can log in as a developer, right? So let's continue reading on and see what else we've got here. You can see that we set up an array list and we put in two things, the username as well as the password. Then we do something interesting. We check if the username is equal to devadmin. And if it is, then we send a request to this devadmin login. So it looks like I now know the username of the dev, as well as where the login is being sent to. So again, big information disclosure. This is already hugely problematic, but let's just try logging in, right? Let's try using that devadmin login and let's see what happens. I'm going to type in devadmin. And then maybe I'll type in something stupid for the password like 123456, right? I press login, and you can see I get authenticated. And that's really strange, right? Maybe I accidentally put in the right password, right? Maybe I guessed it correctly, but I'm kind of curious about that, right? It seems a little bit weird that authenticated me. I don't think that 123456 is actually a password someone would use. So let me try something else here. Let's say devadmin. I'm going to put in no password and press login. As you can see, I'm authenticated. So this is actually not an entirely uncommon thing to see. A lot of the times there's backdoors set in the program, either by developers or by somebody who needs to get access to the application and needs an easy login. They might hard code the username, they might hard code the password, they might make it so that if you enter the username, you don't need a password. So this is something that we can easily exploit, and it's easily noticeable in the code because we could see something is clearly different happening with that username. So it's only natural to try that username and see if we can figure out what's going on. So this is just like a really simple low-hanging fruit type vulnerability that we can find through reading the code. So I just wanted to show an example of how we can find these types of vulnerabilities just reading through the code.